Our students, Brian Proctor, the art teacher, back again with another video. And today we're going to do some heads and faces, which is a combination. I've been doing a lot of anatomy lately, so it's time to put some heads on that anatomy for your characters, because whenever you do a character has to have a face and so forth. Now this is good part one of 3 parts. Third part being something special, something that I have been working on because people have been asking me and I could not figure out how to do it. So I figured out how to do it, but first you have to go back and study the faces. And this is part 1 because it kind of ran in a little too long, and I had to do a part 2 for the female. And then the third part is going to be the big thing, but you have to see both videos to understand the structures of the face, to see why I had to do 2 videos to do the third one. So enough said, let's go and get started so you guys can get to the next video. All right, let's go. All right, today we're going to start working on some heads. Now, I've done a number of body videos, so we're going to do some heads today because you can't do a character without a head or a face. So what we're going to do is work on the head and basically the structure of the head and the planes, because this video is going to be connected to something else that has to do with heads and faces. So, computer, set alarm for 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
So hopefully I can get it all in 25 minutes if I don't go off subject. So first of all, I took the initiative and I went and I did a oval already, and I did my lines. You can come back and do that later, but I wanted to save some time. So I want to just do this first one for you just to show you what I did, so you can get basically the basics of the face. So you want to draw an oval as best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a perfect oval. Center line as best you can. You're just getting the structure. Center this again. Find that center somewhere. Try to find that center as best you can. So when you find that center line, go up just a little bit. So this is going to be the bottom of the eye. I used to do this and I used to wonder why my face is always, I ran out of room for my face, because I used to take the center line and I would put the eye on it. But this is with the bottom of the eye. So you want to just go up just a little bit, depending on how big your eyes are. And this is going to be kind of more of a realistic face versus like an anime, cartoony type face. So from the top line, after you have that, let's say you're going to put your eyes in here. This is going to be the whole eye in here. So after you have that, you want to use the top line. And then from this top line to somewhere here, you want to find the center of this and this, which would probably be about right here, so we say. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to get the ruler and go crazy. Then you want to go from this to this. You want to find the center of that and that, which is probably going to be about right there. All right, so these are the important lines. This is your nose. Take it all the way across. This is your mouth. Take it all the way across. We already have our eyes all the way across. So determining your nose and the size of your nose. Let's just say my nose is going to be this big. The bottom of my nose is going to be this big. So you want to bring that line up like that, because your eyes fit in the space in between your nose. Your eyes fit in the space between your nose. Your eyes are on both sides. It should be the size of an eye in the face. It should be like one eye size-wise. Like if it was an eye was like an inch across, it should be one. It'd be another inch, it should be like 5 eyes wide. The face is 5 eyes wide. Basically, you can fit 5 eyes across the face. So we have that, your nose, you put your eye like that. Now, at the top of the eye and the bottom of your nose is going to be your ear. And your ear, you're just drawing like the letter C. And then draw a line down like that, which becomes the letter D. So this one, you want to do the opposite, which becomes the letter B. So here and here, these are measuring lines. All right, so now that you have this, let's go back to my example here. So let's say my nose is about this wide. And then here's my eye here. And here's another eye here. Now, the one thing about faces is it could be anything, any size, any shape. whatever, because these are your characters that you are doing. This is basically the structure of a face, and then we'll do some other faces, like some character faces, if I don't run out of time. So it doesn't have to be perfect, because your villains or whatever may not have perfect faces. You might be drawing an ex-boxer or a model or somebody that had been scarred in the war. So you don't have to have a perfect face. These are just lines. These are just the basic lines, guidelines. That's what I'm trying to say. So remember, your ear is here, and that's doing the letter D, except you want to do more of an oval. Like if you do the letter D, you want to do more of an oval up and down. And then the other one is the B, oval up and down. Between these two lines, like that. Now, you have your mouth from the center of the eye, both eyes, that's the length of your mouth. As I say, your character can have a long mouth, a short mouth. If you're doing anime, they have little bitsy mouths. So, but this is just a basic structure. And then just a little below that, if you're doing a man, you do a chin. Don't do the bottom lips, basically. Bottom lip, combination chin. Just a little. Let's bring that up, because that's going to go down. Because the chin is from the, basically it's the same size as the nose. Basically, kind of, if you do a line straight down, your chin is going to be about that size. So coming straight down on that line, that's your chin before you curve. Now, your mouth, let me say your mouth from the center of your eye straight down, that's the length of your mouth. So because there is a philtrum right here, I keep septum philtrum, there's that little teardrop shape like this. Teardrop or raindrop little piece in your nose, I mean between your mouth and and that actually shapes the mouth. And since it's kind of like a male face, we're not going to give it a lot of upper lip. But this right there, that little philtrum, which my grandmother used to call it a snot catcher, because when I was young, I always had like snotty nose. So this philtrum, just think about it, fills up with snot, okay? So we have that, and we have your bottom lip, just come curve it up. It doesn't have to be that thick. It could be really thin, depends on your character. Again, depending on your character. So I'm going to put it back about right there. Now the nose is one thing. A lot of people always just do the V because they can't, really draw the nose. They don't want to really study the nose. So the nose, and that was me for the longest time. I didn't want to do noses either. So let's go back over here over the eye first before we tackle that nose. So coming up on this line, you want to go up a little bit. You want to go up at an angle. That's your brow. Like that. So once you pass the eye, just past the eye, you want to go up and curve that around. That's going to be the side of your head where it actually turns. Now from the center, at this point, can you still see that? At the center, let's say the center of your ear, that's going to come back to there. So going here with the center of your ear, the center of your ear, provided you have it all right, you're going to have that plane that turns the face and it comes down like that. I will ink this in a second. Hopefully you guys can still see it. I'm having a lot of lines. So I just wanted to do that because your nose is in here. So let's go to the bottom of the nose. The nose is basically shaped like, you have your brow, the other brow, your nose comes down and it's like, let's just say flat like this. It's thin, and then it has this, it goes back like that. Like that. It's kind of like a, what is that like? It's flat. If you flatten it out, let me do it from the side. You guys might understand that better. It's like this, flat, and it comes out, and this would come down here. And at the bottom, you would definitely have just a little bit like that. And that's your side of your nose. So you would have just a little bit of bottom that comes up like that. So usually if you draw noses, kind of just draw the square. This comes down. This is triangle like that under the bottom. So if you drew the front of the nose, you're gonna bring that little triangle like that, which is what we always do. We're going to have your nostril. Don't go past that. That's something I used to do, is go past my nostril all the time. And you have another V right here. See, now I went past that nostril. Let's do this nostril. Coming up and in like that, and then down. Can you see that? Let's do this. You have your V, center line. Let's do my nostril, come in. Now you have this, comes down, this, and this. So under there, you have this. And you don't have to show a lot of the nostrils. And it is like a complicated, the nose is like too complicated realistically. And then you have this right here. You have this center that comes out. You have this fat part in the beginning that bulges, and I cannot see my lines because this pencil is glaring like crazy. And this basically is just the construction of the nose. So from here, we go out. It's going to go out and then in. And then in right here. And then you have your outer plane like that. So when you're doing the nose, it might not be as sharp, but if you follow these steps, or these 1-2 steps, it comes out a little better. And the nose is going to go all the way up to the top of your brow line, and it ends. More faces. Okay, so we have this and you have this. You're going to bring these down to where your chin is. So basically, you're going to have the side lines of your face. You're going to come down. It curves in and around your mouth. So it's going to come down and curve in and around your mouth like that. And these are planes of your face. So the light is different as your face turns or contours. So let's work on this eye. Usually when I do an eye, if I'm trying to do a more realistic eye, and it's a small face, I'll just do this. I'll just do that, which is just this. Then you just cut it here and you cut it there, giving you that shape there. And then I will round it off just a little bit. I'll keep this one here, and I'll just kind of round this off. Same thing here. I'll round this off, and then I'll come up like that. And then you just add your extra parts to the eye. But it's just this little shape, especially if you're drawing a small character. Like if this was my character's size of the face that I was drawing, it's just easier to just do this. Like that. Instead of trying to make the eye, perfectly round. If I was drawing something big, I may do that. But if it's a small drawing, just use more of your little rectangles and then just kind of round it off where you need it, because nobody's going to really know. And then there's that lazy V for that nose. And then of course it comes up, and then here's your brow like that. And if it was a male, I would do more to the nose to show that it's a man. versus the female. So I know up here somewhere we would have the I can't think of what that's called. It would be down here, like your hairline, your top of the head. So, okay, forget something. This right here across the mouth, you're gonna bring this in, and this is where your chin comes in at, right here. So, however you have this, if you want to bring it straight down, curves around. However you're going down here, it curves and goes into the chin. And this one, for me, I will make this go straight up more. Square, like that. Let me ink this and I'll show you a quick, easy way to do it. So here's my nose. And you don't have to do this under part, but whenever you draw or whenever you color, there's going to be shadow under that. So I don't draw the whole entire thing. And then you might just do, and this is doing the comic book kind of style. I'll do maybe a little bit of that. I don't do the whole thing. And depending on where the shadow is or where I'm going to put more darker color, I might show the outer part of the nose, which is this. So if I know that he's going to be shadowed here, then I'll just do this little piece and then that, and kind of leave that blank because that's more lighter. And then you have more shadow over on this side. So it'll be like this, and then you have your brow that actually comes and it curves around in there. And then it goes up. And these are the planes. Again, these are the planes. And then this goes all the way down to the center of your ear. Drawing your ear, do like that. You have your inner piece of your ear, which I'll stop like that. Then I'll go above that or into that, and then bring this one all the way down like that. And then you have another center piece here to do, and then the little piece there. And ears are completely different too, because again, they're so small and they're turned all the time, so you don't have to usually do too much inner part because I'll usually blacken it out anyway. And then you get your shadow here. And you could be, it could be covered by hair, especially if it's a female, a mask, well, I'm not gonna cover it with a mask until the person puts on his masks and stuff. So we do this, a little bit of filtering, just a little bit for the man, and then the mouth. And I usually don't try to connect the mouth too much for the male. I'll leave some open lines. And then the mouth. Now for the female, I will bring the mouth, I'll connect the mouth, but for the male, I'll just kind of like stop it here and then do just a little curve for the chin or the bottom lip, aka chin. And then just bring the chin down, not the whole chin, just to give it some of where it's going. I skipped the word because I can't think of that word right now. And then my eyes, as remember I said I'll do this. I'll curve it around a little bit. And then down and curve it some more. Same thing. Straight. Bring it back, curve it around. And curve it back a little bit more. And I always do crooked eyes. Always, always, always. That's just something once you just have to deal with. Getting your eyes straight. And of course you have your brow, which goes back. And a lot of times you don't have to do this going back part. If you get your brow and just stop it right there, you're good to go. But just for the sake of the video, it goes back here to point to the center of your ear, and then your cheekbone, if you want to do a cheekbone, like that. Filter them, and you have this that actually comes down and around. This because if you're doing shadow in your face, you're going to have that. So the darkest part is going to be in here and then coming down here. And then maybe in the back here because it's the deepest part. And it also depends on where the light is. So let me take that head up. Remember the head was oval. And so I'm going to bring it straight up until I want it to turn. Let me do this other ear. And usually that's how I'll just do my ear like that. Of course, you got to go to the bottom. I don't put too much into the ears. So you want to come down, and depending on your character, the age, you can bring it straight down and then give it a hard curve, hard turn. It's his age and his muscularity, or you can have it rounded. The younger you are, the more rounded your face is. The older you are, the more squarer. And if you want a big burly guy, you give him a big old fat chin. So like that. And you want to bring this up. And I'm starting to speed up because I still want to do the profile and the other side part. But I just have the lines to show you guys. So usually if I'm doing that, I'll just get just a little bit of indication of the temple. Because if you put hair on that, you won't see any of that anyway. So then my eye. The light source somewhere, and then my pupil, the center, if that is the pupil, which is always black. And then I'll darken the tops like that. Not the whole thing, just the tops. So if I did an eye like that, here's this and here's that. There's going to be a light source somewhere. You always have a light. Look at somebody, look at yourself in the mirror. Your eyes wet. Your eyes will always be wet until you die. So you're going to it's going to reflect the light somewhere. So I'll just do one little light source like that. And then inside you have your pupil, the black part, or is that your iris? One of the two, but it's going to be black. And then you have, then from there, the important part is because this is underneath your eyes like this from the side. So you're going to have the light coming down, so it's going to be darker here than it is there because your eyes are like that. And then here's your nose, your brow. So you're going to have more shadow up here than you do down there. So what I do here is I will actually make that line a little thicker. Not all the way around, just like bring it down just a little bit to make that a little thicker, like that. To give it that little shadow effect. And then if you want to, then you can add your little color sparkles or whatever those are called. But me, I tend to do too many, so then I usually don't. Especially if it's small like that, nobody will see the, and most faces on comics are about that size, maybe this size, because your panels are not going to be that big unless you're doing just a straight, huge close-up of the face. You won't do that. And then this, this little part I'll never do anyway, because again, if your character is that small, nobody's going to look to see that you did that. Put that little piece there. They'll just look at the eye and the expression that the eye makes. Like so. And then you have an eye. Now, of course, you have your folded skin right here. And that gives you, once you do that, you're getting more a little realistic into it. And then, if you want to go bottom, you can just do some lines like that. But these extra lines will give you a more of a realistic look for doing a face. But you have to do your character, it's part of your character design anyway. So as I say, going to come up and then just bring it in, or it's usually over just a little bit. But I'll actually put it against the line like that to give it more of a depth, an in-depth look there. So we have the nose. As I say, you can do both sides of the nose, but I usually just do one indication of the nose line. If I need to, I'll do two. But the less you do on the nose, the better. And sometimes you can just bring this little indication that this is the bulbous part. It's more fatter here. The nose is fatter right here, and then it gets thin. So it would be like this from the side, if I'm not mistaken, kind of like that. And then you have your what is that, the bridge to the nose? So you have that fat piece that goes in, and then you have your nostril. And by the way, it's like, it's like 12:20. I stayed up till 3 o'clock last night. Got up at 7, worked out, hot bath, went back to bed till about 12, got up and started drawing, and then I have not eaten anything. So the brain might just start drifting. I'm just saying that because it might start drifting. And then your neck. So you have this and your neck, depending on the age, depending on the size of the character, your neck should come straight down here with the side of your chin. That gives you that more muscular, powerful look. Now, if you want to bring it in, as I say, it tells the age of your character. So if I bring it in a little bit, he is not as muscular. He's a little more young. He could be more of a teenage type. And so it's your chin, or should I say your jawbone, the shape, the squareness of your jawbone and your chin, and the size of your neck. So if I did shoulders like that, he would could be kind of your average guy. But if I brought it all the way out like this, then he would be more of a muscular guy. So if you want to make your guy muscular, give him a big neck. If I brought it way out like that, he's getting to more of the Hulk kind of size. So computer, stop alarm. That is my 25 minutes. So let's see if I can do this in another 10 minutes. So you have all that, and you have these guidelines. Now you can add extra guidelines like the brow or whatever else I put there if need be. But these were your basic lines right here. So let's do a 3/4 real quick. Curving around. This is the center line, which is this, just curved around. You have your eye here and the second eye there, eye here. Your brow for your nose, or your bridge for your nose, which is going to come out, let's just say about right here. It comes to the bottom line, make that bridge here, come out a little bit. So that's going to actually just bring it straight down. Your eye is going to be right here. The other one, remember the eye is a ball. It's just a ball, period. Here's this ball and here's this ball, and it just fits into these little slots like this. Now, it's hard to do this shape when you turn to the side, so you're going to have to do more of this, more rounded. Same thing here. So when you're at the side, it's going to still come up like this, and it's going to go around. And you might, depending on the angle of the turn, you might see just some of the roundness of the eye, or the actual round eye part itself. And you want to curve around. I would have brought that out a little bit more, but it all depends on that angle. And then your brow again, which is this. It's going to start at the top of the eye right here and go up, and then you're going to come down from that eye. It goes out because that's your cheekbone, which is this. And I believe that goes, it can actually go this way, but I don't want to put too many guidelines into it. So to bring it out and then down, and it all depends on the angle you turn your face. So your philtrum, which is going to go under there to that bottom line. So you're going to have this, and then from the center of the eye, that's as far as your mouth is going to go, which is the center of your eye is going to be right here. Where did that go? Now, once you have this roundness, then everything drops kind of straight down. So don't follow that line. So it's kind of like a ball, and then at that point, everything goes straight down. So this is going to be here, and your chin square right here. So can you see that? Let's switch to pencil, which I'm not going to be able to see. So here is your nose. Center, let's just like center that. then your nostrils. And if you're doing a female, try not to do, and I'm turning my paper because I can't really see this, the glare. Try not to do too much on the nose itself, period, for the female. That's why the less lines for female nose, the better. So it's nostril like that. A man, you can do what you want to do. Bring this up, and then you're going to curve it out. Remember, it is at that upper angle. This is probably going to be one of these long videos. I've been trying to keep it down to about 30 minutes, but probably not with this one. Same thing here. Go over, and then just past the eye, you're going to bring it down. Remember, that's going to come down to like that center of the center of the ear. So let's make this eye just a little bit smaller. Don't try to get it right the first time, because a lot of people will look at my videos and then they'll start drawing. They think that, oh, this is just like the magic thing. You put the coin in and everything comes out right the first time. And if it doesn't come out right the first time, then they write, oh, your teaching sucks, or you suck, you can't draw. I don't know, I can't tell you how many people have sent that. And it's like, because you didn't get it right the very first time, you want to say, you know, my videos suck. It's practice. Everything you do is practice, whether you're playing your video game or you're playing basketball, because you throw the ball up to the hoop the first time playing basketball and it doesn't go in. Does basketball suck? Or does you say, oh, I just need to practice a lot more? Same thing with drawing. The more you practice, the better you become. Some people just don't want to take the time, but you'll fall off a skateboard 1,000,000 times, bust yourself up, and then just say, oh, I love it, I keep going. But you can't pick up a pencil and draw an oval one time and it doesn't come out. You say, oh, it sucks, this sucks, it sucks. It's not, the video works for, you know, 500,000 people, but it doesn't work for you, so you want to say that it sucks. So your nose is going to come down and usually curve like that. One side. I usually don't do two sides. I just do the front side, do that curve, and then that piece of lip like that. Your nose, and I'm still drawing with pencil. That is amazing. It's amazing. Like that, and you can do that other line, this actual curve here. Nose is always a problem. Nose is always a problem. That's why people don't do noses too much. And if you drew a character, you have to know that character's nose, because you have to turn that character left, right, upside down, every which way. Bottom of this, which is a little too big there. Your bottom lip. And then your chin, because it's going to come, your chin's going to come out. Like that. Here's the side of your face is going to go out because of this. Come down. Usually it bulges out just a little bit at the mouth. Chin. Coming here. Remember your chin, like this size. No, it's nose. I'm sorry. It's your nose. Think about the eye. So you have your chin, and then you go up to this part here, which curves, does your jawbone. And then you go up. You don't want to make it too large or have this come way up. You kind of gauge the face, the jawbone, the size you want, and it comes up. And remember, from here to here is your ear, and your skull is behind the ear here, and it's the profile. Bring this straight up and then curve this around, you know, to adjust. It's your face, you have to adjust it. Remember, you have this curve here, which comes out there. Same thing here. You don't have to do it, but just remember, you know that it's there. And then your jawbone from the side, this comes down here, comes to the point of the ear almost. And then what was I saying? Oh, that part there. This comes back around here. These are planes, just planes, because you can draw any kind of face you need, which I'm going to show, but I didn't think it was going to take that long for me to finish this up. And I don't want to keep doing part 2 and part 3 and this and that. So it's going to come down, not really behind the ear, somewhere like in the top of the ear, and then your neck is going to come down here. And your neck is not going to be way over here at the chin, just like I said on the side. It's going to be in under the chin. You just have to determine how far you want it to be, but it's not going to be way out here on the side. And then you have that. You have that muscle that comes from this corner, like going to your ear, and it's going to come to this V here. And then you have your collarbone and your shoulder coming out there. I'm just kind of looking for 1 second to see. I'm kind of rushing this, so if I miss something, then forgive me, because I didn't want a 45, 50-minute video. A little thicker right there, and you have this coming there. And if it's a female, you'd have lashes that comes up right there. So you have your brow, but you don't have to bring it back, because you would put your actual eyebrow right there. So this one's always going to connect. When you do a side or 3/4 view, you're always going to have your nose intersect with that brow line. It's just something that just happens. And then your eye, I'm going to keep that one a little more rounder. Coming down to the center of your eye, and then coming back out, and then down to your face. And it all depends on how much you turn your face around. Your nose, you don't have to bring it all the way down. You can stop here and then come back right here and do this. Or you could bring the line all the way across, and then I'll just give it a little bit of definition for where the bottom is. And then I'll do my nostril. This is kind of like a number 6 almost. It's kind of like a 6. That's number 6. But it's kind of like reverse 6 both sides like that, and it comes up. If that's your nose, so if my nose is like, I just got how to do a freaking nose. It's going to be like that, like almost like a number 6, laying down. And it depends on how turned up your nose is, because some noses are like a boxer's nose, instead of your nose being a female nose being like curved like that. And then you have your nostrils. A boxer's nose could be like this, that broken nose, and then you won't see any part of the nostrils because it's bent down so much. Corona. So, and then quick mouth. You can break your lines up, especially for the man. And the chin. A little indication. Jawbone up. Ear. And then your chin. Remember that you have this little piece here. That's for the colorist to do. Same thing here. You have this there. Light source. That eyes, he's like crooked, but it's not perfection drawing. Okay, we have this. You have your little bit of nostril. A little bit. For a man, you can bring it all the way up, but for a woman, I would just do very little line on the side. I was going to do a female face. Maybe I will end up with a part 2, and then just some nose, some indication of the nose curving around like that, and then just some jawbone, if I choose to do a jawbone on the guy. So from here, you have this coming around right there. You can indicate it for yourself, because if you put hair on it, then and then of course you have your hairline, wherever your hairline is going to go at on your character. And of course, let's just say you just indicated, because if I just do some hair on this guy like that, you would never see any of that, of those lines. Let me come around and let's do a quick profile real quick, because I guess I have to do a part 2. Doing a profile is better to do it a square, and I ran out of room. But what you want to do is just an oval, smaller oval, and another oval, so it's like a P. And maybe I won't even use that. So I'll do a square. As best a box as I can, do that. So we're going to have one oval here, one oval here. It's like the letter P. It's like a balloon letter P. Using these lines, again, you're going to have your eye, and I'm going to do it really quick. So again, you bring that up, and there's your eye. Your nose is going to come out depending on how much you want to bring your nose. And then there's a little secret here. There's like an angle from the tip of your nose. So if this is my eye, this is my brow here, my nose, and I'll do a little curve like that. And as I say, for a female, I wouldn't do much. This is the side of the nose. So your mouth is going to come out to fit these lines, to fall on these lines. It's going to curve, it's going to go down, following that line, and in like that. Your bottom lip is not going to go past that curve. It's going to curve here, or past this line. It's going to curve on this line and go in like that. Then your chin is going to come out and hit that line again, and then go curve in. That's more of your perfect face. So let me just ink this, like that, because the top lip is going to be over the bottom lip. If your bottom lip like that, you can curve it in, especially if it's a female. Take it all the way back, and then the bottom curves out, hits that. This is your chin, and you go back and up. So wherever your mouth line is, that's where your chin is going to bend up like that. So just draw that line. This should connect like that. Remember, your ear is there on your eye. So your eye is going to be, actually, your eye is going to be like way back. It's at the end of your mouth. So wherever your mouth is, that's where your eye is going to be, and your eye is going to be at an angle. It's going to be this triangle V, curved around like so. And you're going to have some brows. So the eye's not going to be really that close. And of course, you're going to have that. It's going to come up. And remember, as I said, you have that little roof that shadows that part of the eye. That's just how it's made. A little bit of cheekbone. And usually you don't do the cheekbone, but it's going to all come down like this toward the mouth, like that. But you're not going to be drawing that in your drawing, because of course you want your character or your characters to be as good looking as possible. So let's put the ear. Ear is going to be the top of the brow, bottom of the nose, of course, just like this. Bring that out a little bit more. And I'll still do that. There's a little piece, a little flap in the center of your ear there, and then you have your inner workings of your ear. And I'll just shadow that because that's not really that important. So at the bottom of your ear, or should I say almost at the bottom of your ear, somewhere around here, almost at the bottom, this little P is going to come down to there and then curve around up there. Then your neck is going to come and it's going to follow that. It's going to go down. When you have your chin up here, something people forget, you have just a little extra, I don't want to call it meat. You have, yeah, and then your neck comes that way. So it's going to go up, and then you're going to have this piece here, and it's going to go down, and your little neck muscles down this way. I think there's another one here, and then your shoulder comes up here like that. So your eye is going to be like this, with your light source again somewhere, and then the little black piece here, and this could come in a little bit more and go out, and your brow is going to, remember the brow is going to be over somewhere here. And then if you need be, center of the ear, you want to get that little jawbone that comes down, you can. And from the brow, you're going to have this piece that comes around. So with the brows here, you're going to have this. And this is just basic for you, for let you know where the head turns. And then your hairline doesn't have to be your hairline, but it's just where it starts to turn more from here. Anything I forgot, and this goes all the way around, you know, because, and your jawbone here, and this goes here from your chin, from the eye. But as I say, you won't use all these lines because you are not trying to draw your character with, you know, so many lines across it. This is just leading to something else that somebody had asked for, a few people had asked for a long time. So if I'm doing a female, it would be the male, but of course you have the shadow under here. This is why you have that little triangle piece here, because all this is shadowed in the light. You would have it here. You have the little shadow here. It's going to shadow here, under here. And then for a female, I would do the top lip like that. And that's going to be shadowed. And then you have your bottom here as well. That's female. So I'm going to end this right here, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do a female and show you kind of why you don't have to have all your lines, because faces are as numerous as the stars, almost. So, all right, I'm going to end this one here and then keep going. Check out the second one.